Hello class, this is your teacher Mr. McDougall, and in today's lesson I'm going to show you how to mask certain objects in images so you can combine two images together. So we're going to take things like this, we're going to take two separate images and replace them or combine them in a certain way. So let's get started. So this is layer mass. As usual, for this exercise, download the exercise files, save them in a folder, and open them up in Photoshop. So pause this video right now if you need to do that, and then join me on Blending 1. Okay, so once you have all of your files open in Photoshop, we are going to take each pair of images. So I have Blend 1 and Blend 2. You can see it's the same room, kind of a before and after thing. We're going to take these two images and blend them together. So let's take Blend 2 and we're going to bring it onto Blend 1. So you can do it however you like. You can select all and then copy paste, or drag and drop like I like to do. I'm going to drag it. If you drag and drop, make sure that you line them up. Use those pink lines to help guide you to make sure the pictures are aligned. And now we can start combining them together. So when you have two layers stacked on top of each other, the top layer, we're going to add a layer mask. A mask is a way that we can cut through the top layer and see to the other side. So let me show you a couple ways we can do a mask. So the way you add a mask is down here at the bottom where this icon is, where it says layer mask. It's this little white rectangle with a circle in it. Click that, and now you have this white square right here. Whenever you see this in your layers panel, it means you have this mask right here. And this mask is how we're going to start doing stuff. So if it's white, it means it's being shown, and then we're going to use black to hide. So the way we can do that is to go to our brush tool. So go to your brush tool, regular old brush. The hardness or the softness doesn't matter. You can experiment with both to see what this is going to look like. But since our mask is white, we need to make sure that we set our colors to black. So if your colors are not black and white, you can click this teeny tiny little black and white icon right here to reset them. And then this little curved arrow will switch your two background and foreground colors right here. So click this to switch them back and forth. You want the black one to be on top so we can brush with it. So now what you'll see, you can make your brush whatever size you want, but if I start brushing with black, it does that. It's brushing the mask away. So I can brush and see the image that's underneath it. Just like that. And what you'll notice here is I painted, or I brushed this side of the image with black, and it's reflected over here. This is where it's showing the areas that I brushed with black. Anywhere I brush, if I go right there, you can see that now there's this black part right here. If you need to undo it, you can always use Command Z. Command Z is your shortcut to undo anything. Or you can switch back to white. If you go back here and switch back to white, anything I paint with white will return to normal. Like that. You can see right here I brushed it back with white, so that's what's being shown. And again, like I said earlier, you can experiment with your brush hardness. So my brush is kind of soft, which is why it has this soft fuzzy edges right there. But if you increase the hardness higher, like 100 or closer, and you brush, it makes this sharp line. You see how it's a sharp line like that? Let me switch back to black, and I can go like that. So you can brush with black, and it makes a stronger line if your brush hardness is at 100%. So now you can create this before and after effect. You can do it side by side like this. You could do it diagonally, top to bottom. However you want to do it is fine. So when you're doing a layer mask, whatever is black is being hidden, and whatever is white is being shown. So this is connected to the top image, this new one right here. So the white area, this top part is being seen, but the black part is being hidden, so we could see the layer underneath it. If this happens to you, where you start painting and you do that, and you're saying, hey, I brushed with black, but it didn't go away. The reason for that is because you have the image highlighted right here. You see on my layers panel how the image has the white bar around it. If you have that highlighted and you brush, you're just going to brush with whatever color you have right here. So let's Command Z to undo. You want to make sure that you have the mask highlighted like this. So you see the mask or the white outline around the mask. That way you know you're brushing the mask away and you're not just brushing black or white onto your picture. So create the before and after effect however you want. And we're going to do the same thing with the next set of images. So blend 3 and blend 4, as you can see similarly, let's put these on top of each other and create a nice blending mask between the two of them. So whichever one you want, put one on top of the other. It doesn't matter how or which one. Line them up. There we go. Super cute. Excellent. So whichever layer is on top, that's the one you need to add a mask to. You won't be able to add it to the bottom because it won't work. Add it to the top layer. Just click this Add a Layer Mask button, and then start brushing with black. Go to your brush tool, or B for shortcut, and you can start brushing. Just like that. Again, experiment with the hardness of the brush. Make it softer, it smooths out that transition, kind of like that. You see how it's a little softer now? So you can brush it however you want. You can go like that, or you can brush right there, make him look like he has furry pants on, or vice versa. You can brush here, or however you want. Now it looks like he just got a haircut from the neck down. However you want to do it, totally fine. We're just blending these two images together. And as you might have guessed, do the same thing with blend 5 and blend 6. Take this before and after of this girl with makeup on. Take a moment to blend her together. Same thing with blend 7 and blend 8. These are paired together. Take this actor before and after he has his makeup on, blend him together. And then with 9 and 10, same thing, Luke and Leia. Blend them together, young and old. Take a moment to do that, pause the video so you can create those blending images, and then meet me again when you're done here on Layer Mask 1. Okay, so for here on Layer Mask 1, we are going to use our quick selection to select out parts of the image and essentially cut a hole in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select out the white part of this computer right here and cut a hole so I could see the image behind it. I'm going to put this image of the car onto the computer screen right there. So what we're going to do is use our quick selection tool that we just learned about. Use the quick selection tool, and this will be fairly easy to select because there's a nice strong line between the black and the white. So just start selecting in here like that. That was super easy. You can see the dotted line going right there showing that the computer screen is being selected. And now we're going to add a mask. So when you have a selection and you add a mask, I didn't have a selection on the first one. When I just click add a mask, it just masked out the whole thing. But when you have a selection and you click add a layer mask, it will add a mask around your selection. So if I come down here to add a layer mask, it does this. You can see right here the white part is still there and it masked out everything around it. It assumes you want to mask out the thing you selected and delete everything else. Remember, black hides and white shows. However, I want to do it the other way around, so the way we can invert it is to hold Command I. So Command and then I will invert the mask. So you see now it's switched. Now black is right here. This part is being hidden. I've cut a hole in the image essentially right here so I could see through it. So now let's bring over Layer Mask 2, the picture of the car. Let's bring that into our picture right there. So by default, when you drop it in, it lands on top of the image, which is why it looks like that. So all we need to do is take our layer 1 of the car and move it onto the bottom underneath. Now it is behind the computer screen. And remember, the computer screen has this hole cut in it so I could see through it, so I could see whatever image is directly underneath it. So now with that look, it makes it look like the car is on the computer screen. So let's do the same thing with Layer Mask 3 and 4. Let's select out the window and put Layer Mask 4, this shark, in the window right there. So let's do that. Use our quick selection tool. Make a clean selection. I chose the exercise files to range from easy and getting gradually more challenging. When you select this, you'll notice you do need to clean it up a little bit around the edges of the windows. So use your option button to negative select and make sure you have a nice clean selection around the windows. Don't get the edge of the window. Take your time every time you're selecting and do a good job. Don't be sloppy with it. Let's get that. Make sure we get the edges. Good. That looks clean. Oh, a little bit up here. Let's fix that. Make sure you do the same. Always have as clean a selection as possible. And then one more little spot right there. It's a little blurry in the little red colored area. Good. All right, so that's looking good. Excellent. So we're going to create a mask just like we just did. Let me show you the second way to create the mask. So the way I just showed you is to click the button and use Command I. I do need to clean up my mask a little bit. However, the other way to do it that's slightly faster, that will save you a step, is we will create a negative mask by holding the Option button. If you hold the Option button on your keyboard and click Layer Mask, it will automatically make the negative mask. So hold Option and click, and then you'll see it created this version where it cut a hole in the window. So now we're just going to do the same thing. Let's bring the shark in there. Bring that image in. Fits right there. Make it a little bit bigger so it fits the window. And now we just need to move the layer to the bottom. Ta-da! Just like that. Now this guy thought he was on an airplane, and now you realize he's on a submarine, and this shark is looking at him like he is pretty tasty. Perfect. Just like that. So, just like in the original file I just showed you at the beginning, we're going to do the same thing on this one. You're going to take these windows, and I want you to replace the image with the sky with Paris right here. So you can cut out all three of these windows. Let me delete this so you can see. Perfect. So when you're making your selection, you can select multiple objects at the same time. I could select this window, and I could select this window and this window. Make sure you clean them up because you will need to clean up the edges a little bit. But you can have multiple selections. And then after you do your selection, you can create a layer mask on all three windows like that. One thing to remind you of is if you screw up your selection anyway or it gets out of hand and you want to start over, just either use the shortcut Command D or come up here to select and deselect, and that will remove everything and you can start over. And again, the shortcut for that is Command D. Will deselect everything. So create your fun layer mask of their new images. As always, take screenshots of all your creations. Only take the screenshots of the ones that you created. So take a screenshot of this. You don't need to take a screenshot of just this guy because you didn't do anything with this file. Take a screenshot of everything that you blended or masked out. I want to see all of those, something like that. Okay? So attach your screenshots. Have fun. Let me know if you have any questions.